Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I'm going to be doing a holiday get ready with me featuring this Christmassy look, and I will be talking about just like a life update, Christmas plans, stuff coming for the new year, all of that stuff. And this was a topic that was voted on by my Patreon supporters, so every month my Patreon supporters get to vote in a poll on a video topic I will do that month, and for VLOGMAS, they got to vote on a lot of topics. So I think there's probably at least 5 or 6 that I'm doing because they voted on them. So if you want to participate in my content in that way and vote in polls for books I'll read and video topics and a lot of just interactive stuff on Patreon, then I will link that on the screen. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, then keep watching. Hello, I will try to keep looking at you and not just at the mirror the whole time, but this is the best setup for Get Ready With Me, which I haven't done since the Umbrella Academy came out. That was my last Get Ready With Me, but I haven't really been like ingesting other media. I love how I always say ingesting. It's like really like consuming, but either way, any other media where like I've binged something and then can like talk about it. So besides North and South, people wanted me to talk about North and South, which I just remembered, but I kind of want to like rewatch it, possibly over the winter. So that is actually not what this is supposed to be about, because this is not like a media consumption Get Ready With Me. This is just like a life update Get Ready With Me. So when you're watching this, well, if you're watching it the day it goes out, it's Christmas. So yay. I am filming this 9 days in advance because for Christmas I will be home, and I will probably only be filming like one video because I figured out that I have to probably film my book haul at home to like get it up in a reasonable time, and just like, you know, putting my own kind of like rules on myself. So when I'm home with my family for Christmas, I'll be filming one video, but not any of these. I'm trying to, I'm filming this on the 16th. I filmed all but 4 of my Vlogmas videos, or actually like a couple of them aren't even Vlogmas, they're like after Vlogmas videos, and I'm going to have them all uploaded and ready to go before I leave this coming Friday. I'm filming this on a Sunday. I'm leaving the 20th to go home for Christmas. So I need just to get everything filmed. This is my last day of filming before I leave, and then edited both today and throughout the week and everything. So yeah, but this, like I said in the intro, is a voted on by my Patreon supporters. People wanted to hear a kind of life update, and I'm doing like a Christmassy look because obviously I have my N7 sweater on. There's only so long that I can wear this, although I do tend to wear this like throughout the winter, even though it's a Christmas sweater. But since we had one less week of the Christmas season, I feel like, because Thanksgiving came so late in the United States, then it was like I had less time to wear it, you know? So I'm wearing it again for the rest of the Vlogmas videos. I'll be wearing it at home, and I might wear it a little bit in like January and stuff too, because I love it. It's one of my favorite sweaters. But this will be a Christmas makeup look. I plan on doing like a green and gold halo smoky eye and red lipstick, which I think I did a similar look either last year or the year before, and I was rewatching that video, whatever video it was, I don't even remember which one it was, and I was like, ooh, I really like that look, so I'm gonna try to recreate it even though I don't even remember what I did. But yeah, like I mentioned, with the shortened season, I feel like everything has been sped up, and then I'm like running out of Christmas time, which is sad because I love the Christmas season, and I definitely get like the post-Christmas, post-holiday blues, and I don't want to have that. I don't think it'll hit me as hard this year because I'll talk about this later, but I'm like gonna be moving shortly after Christmas, or shortly after I get home from Christmas. So I think I'll be coming back here and then getting ready for the move and everything, so I won't be so like glum. But yeah, I've definitely been trying to engage as much as I can in the holiday spirit, which I do like every year, but I didn't do last year because last year, this time, I had just moved into this apartment and I just didn't have the energy to like set up for Christmas and like put out my decorations. Look at that green. I don't even know if it translates as well on camera, but like, oh damn, it's from the my Sugar Pill palette, which I rarely used. It looks like it's so dirty because that black just gets everywhere. Because all the bright colors, like I don't tend to do like super bright makeup anymore. I do like for videos and stuff sometimes, but like not even this bright, but I love having them. I would never get rid of them. Because there are times when I'm just like, you know what, yeah, I do want to do like a crazy funky eye look. So yeah, I definitely want to keep engaging with that side of my like makeup artistry life. But yeah, it almost is like neon. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I got distracted. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, like the Christmas season. Binks, please don't come over here. No, whenever I'm doing makeup, Binks wants to be on the makeup like table with me, and he can't be because he would knock everything over, and that would be very bad. I have this camera just set up on some boxes because I don't have a tripod small enough to fit on my makeup desk, so it's not a good, safe situation, really. So I need him to not try to come over here. So yeah, I've really been like embracing the holiday season this year and loving it, but I feel like it's going by so fast. Like Sarah Jane from the Book Life and I, she's one of my bestest friends here on the internet and booktube and stuff. We've been watching holiday movies, well, because before the holidays we were watching like some of our favorite rom-coms and stuff, and like rewatching and like watching each other's favorites and whatever. And we try to do it like once a week, and so we've been watching like a lot of the Christmas movies, but there's been a couple times when we haven't been able to do it one week, and like we're running out of time. And we had been watching a lot of the really cheesy Netflix originals that have recently come out. Before it was like fully the holiday season. Like we started watching those like right around Thanksgiving or right before Thanksgiving, and because we were like, okay, well, we don't want to watch like the real holiday movies like Love Actually and The Holiday and some of those that are like our actual favorites, like too far away from Christmas. And now we're like, okay, like it's almost Christmas, and like how are we gonna like fit these in? So I think we are going to try to watch Love Actually tonight if I have the time and get everything that I need to get done as far as like filming and stuff. And then we're going to watch The Holiday when I'm home because my mom likes The Holiday a lot too. So that is the current plan, and hopefully it works out. And then after the holidays we're going to watch Bridget Jones, which I have never seen in its entirety. But yeah, we watched The Christmas Prince on Netflix and the Royal Wedding version of that one too, because they made it into like a trilogy. We didn't watch the baby one because we don't care about kids. And we watched A Night for Christmas, or A Night Before Christmas, or whatever it's called, which was also cheesy and sort of horrible. In addition to the Christmas movies, I have also been reading Christmassy books. So I did read like a Christmas short story collection, which will like a romance collection, which will pop up in my wrap up and stuff. I won't talk about it a lot now. And then I'm currently reading a book that I'm loving, and I hope I love until the end. That is a Christmas sort of romance, more of like an angsty situation. Really, really loving it. But and that is One Day in December, which wouldn't be for everybody. So I'll talk about that more once I finish it, because I'm about 60% of the way through. But I will talk about that more in my wrap up when I'm done with it. So yeah, I've been really trying to just like do the holiday spirit, you know. I decorated my office at work because I share it with 4 other women. It's like a conference room that we share and set up at. And we've been playing like Christmas music, and we're gonna have a Christmas like celebration at work this week before I leave, and do like a potluck and all of that. So it's just like, it's fun times, you know. I'm involved in like a number of Secret Santas this year, 2 for work, 1 for like booktube friends. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. It's a good time. I don't really have all of my Christmas shopping done because this is one of those years when like my family, like none of us have any really like concrete things that we like need or want. Like I actually just added a couple things to my wish list like last night and told my mom about it because I'm like, okay, like I kind of thought of these things. But my dad has been like really hard this year because my dad's not somebody that's easy to buy for really anyway. But he really like doesn't want anything. And my mom has given me like a few things, but since I'm driving, I'm like, do I get them here and drive with them? Do I get them when I get home? Like, what do I do with some of these gifts? Like, what do I do? So, I've been kind of like not sure what to do about all of that, but it'll get done. It always does. But like my family is not good about like saying what they want until the last minute. just typically anyway. So it's like, okay, cool. So it's harder to shop like in advance. Not that I really would anyway, because I just tend to wait. I mean, that's when all the sales are happening and everything else. So that tends to be the best time to shop anyway. These kinds of smoky eyes are so fun because when you first start putting color down, it's like, oh man, I think this is gonna look like shit. And then you keep going and keep blending and it doesn't. It doesn't. So I'm very confident that this is gonna look very nice at the end. So I'm definitely very excited to go home. Like I said, I'm driving. I have a friend that's house sitting while I'm gone, which has alleviated any of the stress about the cats, because I wasn't sure for a little bit like who was going to be able to watch the cats. So thankfully that is taken care of, and I know that they'll be safe with her and everything will be good. So I'll be able to be home for like about a week, and then coming back like right before New Year's. So that'll be good. So I'll come home like the Sunday before New Year's and then work for like 2 days, then it's New Year's, then work for 2 days. So it'll be a nice like way to kind of get back into the swing of things. I'm really looking forward to all of the January videos. January is like my favorite time on BookTube, to be completely honest. I love all of the goals videos, like the wrap-ups from the previous year, like both filming my own and watching other people's. Like I just eat it up. I love the goals wrap-ups, the new goals, the favorite books of the year, the most disappointing books of the year, like all of that stuff. And like those are some of my favorite videos to film as well. So I am just like so hype about being able to film those videos and watch other people's videos, and it just like leaves me very invigorated for the new year. I haven't quite met my TBR goals that I had set for myself for this year, for 2019, but I am pretty confident that the first like half or even third of the year I'm gonna get like a lot of reading done, so I think I'll catch up on those goals very quickly in the new year. Fingers crossed. That's how I'm feeling right now, at least. I decided I'm gonna put on like my base makeup, like my concealer and stuff, and then have the camera off during that time because it needs to cool off. My camera is one of those cameras that like overheats. It just, this is the model, it does that. So I'm gonna do that because it's not super interesting. It's more interesting to watch the actual like eye makeup, and I'm gonna have to do some more stuff with that anyway. So yeah, and I don't want to run out of stuff to talk about because you also are watching me doing my like foundation and stuff. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, probably not a huge change because my skin has been getting so much better because I went on a second round of Accutane. I went on Accutane for the first time before I even joined BookTube. I probably would have never joined BookTube if my skin had been as bad as it was, which was worse than it was this most recent time. Back in like 2014 was when I first went on Accutane, so like 5 years ago. And this was a second round and actually cleared up my skin way faster, which is what tends to happen. So hopefully it'll stay away forever, but yeah, that's a thing. So I actually just noticed that my concealer, I'm almost out of it. I've had this concealer for like, probably like 3 years. I did just look and see that you're supposed to throw it away, I think after like 9 months, but honestly, who does that? Like, I'm not gonna go through a concealer in 9 months. Who just has like infinite money? So, yeah, I'm almost out of that, which is kind of exciting. I might try a new one. I might try that one again. I don't really know. If I could find like a travel version of a concealer so it'll be way less product, I would do that because yeah, I definitely don't wear concealer every day. I only really wear it for like special occasions and to film. So I definitely don't need that at all. So yeah, so like I was saying, I feel like the first like third of the year, fourth of the year, I will have a lot more, I just feel like it will be a good reading time. And like I said, I feel like I'm not going to have the post-holiday blues because of moving. So yeah, I can fill you guys in a little bit more, but basically when I get home from the holidays, I will be quickly transitioning into moving mode because I will be moving the like beginning of 2020. I am moving back to the Midwest. I'm moving back home and back to Illinois, which is where I'm originally from. Originally I was thinking about like potentially moving to like Minneapolis or something, which I still might do in the future because I actually visited Minneapolis this fall and really liked it. But basically this fall, and I talked about this in my probably like year of growth, things I learned videos that I just put out the last couple of days. So this might be like similar information, but this fall was like a really bad anxiety fall. And I kind of figured out that it was more situational than anything else. I work in hospice, which is an incredibly hard job, obviously. And it is harder even so with not having a support system here. So I don't have any family in Delaware. I never wanted to move to Delaware. I moved here years ago because I was living in Philly, which is a place that I had chosen to move, didn't really like it, met someone, moved down here, which was fine for the time, and it was a choice I would still make if I went back and had to do it again. Like, that would still happen, that move. Would I have stayed as long as I did? Probably not, but I would have still made that initial move down here. I was in graduate school. I was like sick of the city, and that was like a good choice for me at that particular time. But since then, and like since my breakup, I have not had a support system here, because Delaware and just like the mid-Atlantic area, not to be stereotypical, but like obviously certain regions of the country have different social norms, and just like the way people act is just different. Obviously people are going to break that mold, but generally speaking, different parts of the country have a different feel, and the social norms are just different. That's just the way it is. So, especially because America is such a big country. So the Mid-Atlantic, I've found in the years that I've been here, and a lot of people that I've talked to, really everyone that I've talked to that's moved here from another part of the country says the exact same thing. So I know I'm not alone, but that it's very hard to make friends out here if you're not originally from here. And that can be true for a lot of places, but especially here, people are very flaky. People are very, like, not apologetic about being flaky. Like, it's not looked down upon as much. Like, people will flat out say, and this has happened not only to myself but to other people, you know, like, you'll make plans with somebody and then they'll like call and cancel, or not even call and cancel, they'll just like flake or ghost or whatever. And it'll be like, oh, because something else better came up. And you're like, you're an asshole? So like, there's just a lot of like that I don't like. And people just like, oh, I mean, this area is sort of known for just people being like, blunt is not the right term because I'm very blunt and I'm very rough around the edges for the Midwest. But I don't want to hang out with people just like me anyway. And like the lack and like how incredibly hard it is to even like get to know people, like especially in Delaware, because Delaware is so small. It's hard because people are like still with the same people that they've known since like high school, because they're like, people will ask you even as an adult, like, oh, what high school did you go to? And you're like, I'm 30, why does it matter? Like, it's so bizarre. So basically, I don't like this area. I don't tend to get along well with people like from this area. There are exceptions to that rule, obviously, but generally speaking, it's just a difference in priorities and wants and communication styles and everything. A lot of my friends that I have made are not from this part of the country. They're all like transplants like myself. So yeah, it's just like, I don't really want to be here. And then obviously because of my job, because I work inpatient hospice, so these are people that are dying quickly and bad. Not like bad, but like someone that has had a stroke, but they were like up and with their family like 3 days ago. You know, just like stuff that's like really shitty. It's basically shown me like how important support systems are, which I always knew. But I think I thought of myself when I was younger as much more of a lone wolf, and now I'm like, I don't care to do that anymore. Like, I didn't do it as like an asshole, like I still stay connected to my family, but like, I just was like, you know, I can like do everything by myself, and I'm like, not true. So yeah, and seeing like a lot of these things that have happened to the families that I've worked with, I'm just like, if your family and you get along and they aren't shitty, which my family generally isn't, and they are healthy and you have time with them, like spend it with them, you know? So yeah, I definitely want to do that. So I'm heading back home. I'll be living with my parents for a short amount of time, and that is a choice that I made. Like, I had a hard time originally thinking that I was going to do this because I've sort of wanted to move for a while. Like, I haven't wanted to be here for quite some time, like I mentioned before. But I had this idea of like, oh, if I go home, I'm like, you know, it's like failure or something. Or it's like running back home because you failed. And I'm like, no, like I could stay out here. I have the ability to. I could also immediately move, like, basically I want to like move into Chicago because I love Chicago and I've always loved Chicago. And I could do that, like I could immediately move, but I'm like, you know what? I have the ability and the privilege of a family that will let me stay with them for a little while and like re-get my footing and like look for a job that I want and not just a job that I need to take. These are all incredibly privileged things that not everyone has, but it's like I shouldn't just say like, oh, I gotta do all on my own and like immediately move into a place just to get out of here. Like I feel like if I moved immediately to Chicago, everything would be like rushed. Like it'd be like I just need to find somewhere, get there, blah blah blah. Where this is like I can move home because I live in a town that's like, well, I live in a city, it's like the third biggest city in Illinois. I can move home for like a few months because that's all it's gonna really be, and find a place that I like, find a job that I really want and not just a job that I want to take to get me there, you know what I mean? And just find like the perfect situation for myself and just give myself a goddamn break, because like if I have the opportunity to do so, which again I know not a lot of people do, I have an emergency fund that I've saved up for this kind of thing, so I have living expenses for a few months, and I can do that. So that's what I have decided to do. And then I get to, you know, see my family and sort of like recharge. And like I was thinking last night, like I haven't had what I would call a good year since like 2014, maybe. 2014, probably. Like that's just, yeah. So I just like want a slight rest. And again, it's not like I'm taking like a year sabbatical or anything. Like it's just gonna be like a couple of months to like get my footing and then, you know, get back at my own place. Like I don't have any intention of just like chilling at my parents' house forever. Like that's never gonna happen, first off. But that is the plan. So basically as soon as I get back from the holidays, I will be focusing on packing up my apartment fully, getting like the movers and everything in place and giving my notice to the different places that I work at and saying goodbye to people. I am gonna be doing a Philly meetup. So I did want to let you guys know that. I've been meaning to do this forever. I've wanted to do like a Philly area meetup because there's a lot of people I know that live in this area and have been like, hey, we should like meet up or, you know, do something or whatever. So I'm going to be doing something like that, which I will post. I think I probably have already posted a poll on Twitter about this, but definitely give me feedback in the comments too if you're around the area and interested. But I will be doing something like the middle of January for anybody that can make it into Philly, to kind of do like a book thing, hang out, just to, you know, like see people. And also just to like kind of one of my last saying goodbyes to Philly. Like I did live in Philly for about a year. Philly has been a big part of my like time here. My best friend still lives in Philly, etc., etc. So I would like the opportunity to, you know, say hi and meet people that have lived in this area and have wanted to like hang out this whole time, and I just haven't had like really the time to do so. Or really the motivation to be completely honest, because I've just been like nose to the grindstone kind of thing. So that is what I plan to do, which I will announce the like actual date. Like I said, I think it'll be like the middle of January. And then when I do get to Chicago and like the Chicago area, I will be doing similar things there, which will be really fun, because I do plan on living either in Chicago or in a suburb. Kind of just depends on where I find a job that I want. I do want to get back into oncology specifically. I love hospice, and I will always be like an advocate for hospice. But I feel like I need that mix of hope and like death. Like obviously like people are gonna die in oncology, but I need it to not be the only thing that I'm seeing, basically. And especially because I've worked inpatient for, you know, the last year. That's all I've seen, and I just need a mix. And I always intended to work in hospice to give me like education on end of life for getting back into oncology, because I feel like oncology, at least in the United States, but I'm sure everywhere, kind of doesn't handle end of life very well. Like they don't know how to have those conversations, which is crazy, because obviously in anything medical, there's always a chance that someone's going to pass away. So I kind of did hospice to broaden my like oncology horizons too, and like give myself more knowledge for that as well. So that was always a plan, but that's what I plan on getting back into. And then eventually when I get licensed, just doing like therapy, like outpatient therapy, mostly focusing on the young adult cancer population, but also just like general population stuff as well. So that is the plan for getting back home. So yeah, I'm very excited. I feel more relief than I felt in years. Like ever since I decided this is what I was gonna do, I have, like, my anxiety has gone way down because I was having like a huge flare in the fall, which I thought was just like a normal flare, and I'm like, no, that's a lot more situational than I had originally given it credit for. I felt optimistic because I was starting to get like situationally depressed, was just starting to be like feeling very like hopeless, not like anything where I want to like hurt myself or anything like that, but just being like, I had originally intended to move back to the Midwest in like the fall of 2020, and I'm like, I can't last that long. Like I can't thrive here. Like I will be a shell of a person. I will probably have a mental breakdown. Like I just can't do it. So yeah, so if I could go back and change things, like I said, I would never not move here. I think that was a very good choice for me at the time. And I would make that choice again, but I wouldn't stay here as long as I did. I think if I could change something, well, you know what? I think everything happens for a reason, and I had to learn this lesson. But I think if I could learn this lesson sooner, I would have probably not even moved here. I would have just moved home. But I think if I would have done that, that would have felt like giving up, because it was like right after my relationship ended, and it was like I still wanted to try to give Delaware a chance and be able to stay here, and I had a lot of like good career stuff going on, which I still do. I have a lot of really good career connections here. So yeah, I think things happened the way they needed to, honestly. I think that if I went home any sooner, I would have felt like it was like a failure or something, and I think moving here and being on my own taught me a lot of things, but it also taught me that like I don't need to be on my own all the time. You know, like if you have a support system that is an actual support and is not a detriment to you, like there's no harm in using that, you know? And that's a lesson that I kind of needed to learn this year. I did a lot of growing this year. I think I've already posted probably my like wrapping up my year of growth video. But this year I said my like intention was going to be growth, and that is what happened, and I learned a lot. Did I want to learn it the way I learned it necessarily all the time? No, but that's kind of true of like any life lesson. So yeah, I'm feeling much better. And I just feel like 2020 is going to be a good year. Like I kind of was like, you know, 2019 I had hopes were going to be a good year. And there were some good points in 2019, but 2020, I just feel like I just get good vibes from, you know what I mean? So that is bringing me a lot of hope when, like I said, I felt like my life has sort of been like stalled for a while and sort of like stagnant, and now I feel like I have sort of like purpose and guidance again, and an idea of what things are going to be like, and just like hope. Like I feel way more hopeful than I have in probably about a year, at least 6 months. So yeah, it's good to be there. So, and that's why I think I'll get a lot more reading done, just because I'll have the space for it. Like I was getting to the point where, again, like situational depression, where I was like, you know, like reading's not even fun. Like I don't want to do anything. Like I just, like nothing, there's no balance in my life, which is why next year's word is balance. I don't know if I mentioned that in videos yet. I'm definitely going to mention it like next year when I talk about like my goal setting and everything like that. But next year's intention word is balance, because I'm going to apply the things I've learned in the last few years, especially this year with all the growth that I've had, and find some balance in my life and not just extremes, which I feel like it's been for a little while. So I'm also very excited about that. Again, a lot of hope about that, so it makes me happy. Like I said, I'm somebody who really does tend to like the new year. I know that some people don't, and they think it's a lot of pressure. I have goals, but over the years I haven't put like a lot of pressure on myself about those goals. Like it's just like I make them sort of vague, the ones that, as far as like the big things, the big ticket things, and just see kind of where life takes me a bit, you know? And it's all been good, you know, as far as like growth and stuff. The one thing about moving that I'm a little like about, which is always the thing that makes me most just like blah, is finding new I guess service providers is like the right word, like finding new, like a new doctor, a new dentist, a new hair salon, a new nail salon, which I've already started doing research on. All of that, I'm just like, oh my God, like the one thing I do have in Delaware is like I have my places that I trust, and just like having to mix that up is just like, ah, like not worth it to stay here obviously, but is just like a task, you know? Like it's one other task, and it's something that is just like a temporary hurdle. But for some reason this eyebrow looks like really funky today, and I don't know why that is, but it's just feeling a little funky funk today. Maybe my eyebrow pencil's like wearing out. It doesn't look like it is, but for some reason it just like looks weird to me. I'm gonna put my lashes on off camera. I actually took a longer than expected break because I ate lunch and charged my camera a bit. So the last thing I need is lipstick, and I've addressed this a number of times, but I wanted to address it again because I've gotten more comments again recently from like newer subscribers. I still use lipsticks from brands that I no longer buy things from. So this lipstick, for example, is like 3, maybe 4 years old. And I don't support those brands anymore, but I'm also not gonna throw away $20+ lipstick because I've already spent the money on it. So the damage is done, so I'm still gonna use them, you know? So I just wanted to address that because that's how I personally choose to handle when makeup scandals come out. If I've already bought it, the damage is done, unknowingly, because I don't buy from brands that I don't support if I know something about the brand, like creator or something, whatever. But I'm still gonna use usually it's lipsticks. I've made a lot of posts about how like a lot of liquid lipstick brands that I love turn out to have like trash either policies or usually owners. So yeah, that's just how I choose to handle things. And if you choose to throw your stuff out when you find stuff out about brands, then so be it. But I don't have the money to just throw away all of my lipsticks. So that is it for my Christmas Get Ready With Me life update. I hope you enjoyed it. So comment below, let me know some of your like Christmas traditions, things that you did today or on Christmas if you celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday you might celebrate around this time of year. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.